Okay, so now we are going into a bit of a different way of thinking, but it's still, I think it's still quite aligned what we heard, a lot of what we heard yesterday. But I would advise you to close your eyes for a little moment and kind of let go of your preconceptions of everything and try to breathe yourself more into your body instead of being too much in your head. And I will do a little bit of chanting also to get myself in the correct mode. And as we don't have that much time, I guess that's a short meditation. And now, because the idea was perhaps for the nature of this event to present some kind of a project. So I guess my project in this case is a very long project that's been going on for about 20 years into understanding the mythological worldview and also finding a way to communicate it to people and to make people understand that there is a different way of understanding the human evolution and the nature of life and culture on this planet, different from both the scientific and the religious view. But it's probably closer to religion than science, but it's not against science. It matches. I think science and religion and mythology can work together. And most of this stuff is in my book, and I'm not a very good with this material world, so I don't have a material book to give you, and so that you could look at it. I actually don't have a single copy of this book anymore myself, because the last copy I had I left with the Myötäpäiväisten kylä, and I hope they have kept it well so that maybe I get it back. But you can order this book in a PDF format if you get interested. So it's Children of the Speaking Tree, and I'm currently working on an international version of this book with the help of AI, which makes translating quite a lot easier than it used to be, and also like re-editing and reconstructing a book. And the subtitle is The Great Flood, The Seven Seals, and Sampo, to put many of these things together and see that they're all part of this one and the same story. And this is a little presentation in PowerPoint I did for a lecture that I gave just about a week ago where I live in Tammisaari, and it's a short version of a longer presentation, and this is a short version of the short version, so that I can fit it hopefully in about a time frame of 15 minutes. And here is a little information about my homepage, Sielunpuu, which of course reflects, it's the soul tree that reflects the tree of life, and the world tree, and a list of some of the things that I do. For example, I do psychic readings and rebirthing breath work, and arrange this kind of empowering trips. Mostly it's been to England, but now I'm beginning to do them in Italy, and also I've done some in Egypt. And the easiest access to the mythical story is fairy tale. And my favorite fairy tale in this respect is The Sleeping Beauty, which a fairy tale that is also found in the Kalevala mythology, and surprisingly in lots of detail, the same story. And the fairy tales that are best known all around the world are the Grimm brothers fairy tales. And the Grimm brothers were the Elias Lönnrot of Central Europe, so they collected the folklore and compiled the stories into a one collection of stories, like Lönnrot and others, mostly Elias Lönnrot did with Kalevala. So it's a similar origin, that it comes from the original stories that were passed on mouth to mouth from generation to another for a very long time before anybody started writing them. So once upon, in a far away land, there was a king and a queen, and the king, they were the good king and the good queen, and they had a child that was an innocent child. This is the basis of the Holy Trinity, or the so-called Holy Trinity. That's the Christian term for the original three archetypes, which came from the one kingdom. So out of oneness, you get the three archetypes of masculine, feminine, and neutral. And in the biblical terms, it's the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. And then the next step, basically, in terms of evolution and creation, in terms of sacred geometry, is that this Trinity is reflected through the element of fire. So you have the good parents and the innocent child on the other side. And then you have the element of creation, the creative power that manifests something visible out of this ideal concepts that are not yet material or manifest. And the fire has also these aspects of being either contractive or expansive. And the numbers here, this is one of my latest discoveries, that this creation of the universe through the archetypical energies, it also explains numerology. So the numbers 1 to 6 are here, but the numbers 7 to 9 come in the next slide, maybe not the next, but soon. So here, the lower reflection of these three archetypes is often called water, earth, and air, and fire is a bit different because it's the mediator between the two worlds, if you like. But originally, this is not two worlds. It's a complete harmony. So it's the kingdom, the fairy tale kingdom, where everything was well. And it was governed by the good parents and the innocent child that they had. And one way to display this is also the octahedron, and here is the octahedron, and when you see it from the correct angle, it's very symmetrical. Okay, so now I have to go very fast. 7 days and 6 nights are found in the octahedron and in the tree of life. And the tree of life eventually became the tree of good and bad knowledge, because the central apple of the tree was split in half. So that's the Adam and Eve story in the paradise, and it's the story in the Snow White fairy tale. And it's when the princess, the Sleeping Beauty story, ate the apple, basically it is the similar thing that hit her finger in the needle and fell into sleep. Then it was the end of the innocence, and the archetypical human being fell into sleep and forgot his or her good parents and the original castle and the good kingdom. And in the mythological stories, it's usually about a giant tree that falls down or is split into two parts. And it's the essential part of this story is that this is also one of my recent revelations. I was aware of it before, but now I really understand its meaning, that the upper part of the tree never was broken in any way. And this is a very powerful thing to realize, because this is...
So when the apple splits, then the tree falls at the same time?
Yeah, it's the breaking of the central apple is also the breaking of the trunk in the middle. So it breaks the tree in two parts. And this can be found in all the mythical stories, in of course in a little different metaphors, but the same story is there. So this is always intact. It cannot break, because it's the universal, it's the basement of the whole